Well, every scientific reading indicates a stronger ongoing unrest episode than the prior two at the present, with more uplift, geothermal vent changes, gas emissions, and earthquakes being involved. Earthquakes during the beginning of the year were consistent with a body of magma intruded to 2 to 3 miles below sea level, largely striking underneath the summit of Mount Spurr. However, on January 27, earthquakes shifted to beneath the crater peak vent, with a specific cluster of events progressing up the suspected location of the vent's magma conduit. This occurred alongside an 800% jump in sulfur dioxide emissions at Mount Spurr's summit, and carbon dioxide emissions from the crater peak vent were described as especially high by the Alaska Volcano Observatory. This carbon dioxide detection is the most for possibilities important piece of evidence, as values this high have generally only been detected prior to a volcanic eruption occurring. With all of this data in mind, 4 possible outcomes were noted. 1. Explosive eruptions approximately equal in magnitude to Mount Spurr's 1953 and 1992 eruptions. 2. A less explosive eruption than what occurred in 1953 and 1992. 3. No eruption occurs as magma stalls below ground. 4. An explosive volcanic eruption larger than what was observed in 1953 and 1992. Typical eruptions at the present, possible outcome number 1 is considered to be the most likely result of Mount Spurr's unrest. If that were to occur, one or more, probably multiple pulses of subplinian or large volcanic explosive eruptions would happen, involving sustained 10-minute to multiple hours long 8 to 16 km or 26,200 to 52,500 foot high eruption columns. These highly energetic phases are generally separated by days to months, with weaker or very little if any eruptive activity occurring in between them. These overall eruptions have historically lasted from 8 days to 3 months. For example, the 1992 eruption involved 3 pulses. 1992 ashfall across 3 months, which deposited 3 layers of ash which altogether were up to 140 centimeters or 55 inches thick close to the volcano, up to an inch thick within 12 miles of Mount Spurr, and causing a trace amount of ash to fall as far away as 470 miles within Canada's Yukon Territory. Of course, like many magmatic intrusions, this could completely stall without triggering a volcanic eruption at Crater Peak. That outcome is still possible, just less likely than the chance of an eruption occurring by the end of the year. While a few structures do exist southeast of hazard-mapped Mount Spurr, some of these structures in current models could only experience lahar hazards during a record-setting Spurr eruption. As a final note, I would like to thank my new YouTube channel member David Priest